Greetings, everyone. I hope you're all doing well and we have a great week last week. Yeah, we had a lovely momentum last week, so looking to see if we're gonna continue that momentum this week as more pairs are shaping up nicely. So without wasting any time, I'm gonna start off with the XY. So as you can see what it's happening here, we have this bigger structure that is forming here, and we have this push here to these highs. And as you can see from the previous days, we rejected nicely here and we pushed to the downside and we formed this corrective move here. So what I'm looking for from next week is to see if we're gonna continue to the downside, or maybe this will be a move that's gonna come to this low and then we continue push to the upside. But since you have this momentum and can see how did we close here from daily, so I'm looking to see if we can do capitalize on other dollar related pairs, since the XY is more to the downside, and other pairs that we can take maybe to the down to the upside. So when you go to 4H, as you can see here, we have this level structure there, layer structure that was formed here last week. So you can see coming from this push and then you correct it here, and then now it's more likely that you're gonna have another push. So it's whether you continue pushing to the downside or you can form another flag, something like a tight flag or any flag, then we'll know that okay, it's more likely that we'll be pushing to the downside. We'll see whether we're gonna reject from these lows here or we're gonna continue pushing to these lows here. So we'll see how market develop during the week, then you take it the message from there. So I'm gonna start off with another pair as well on my top 6, which is CAT JPY. So gonna start off here on daily so that you can see what I'm looking for. So you can see we've broken this low here and we push to the downside, so it's to the upside, sorry. So you can see that we still have more momentum to the upside. So what I'm looking for is to see if you can get some continuation to these highs, or we can even continue further. So from here on, for H, what I'm looking for is to see if price gonna come to this high and then something like this, then I'll be happy to take this one around these areas here, around these areas to the upside. So the target, first target will be here and the second target will be here. If we break here, and then that would be nice. So we'll see if we're gonna continue push all the way to the upside or we're gonna reject these highs, as you can see. So this one is looking lovely for me. So just waiting to see if how we're gonna react from here. If we do reject from here, then be nice. I'm waiting for the trade to come down to this low. But if we break here, then what I'll be looking for maybe is a clear break here, then see if we can get maybe a flag from here and then take it to the upside. And moving forward with another pair, it's Euro Aussie. So I'm gonna start off from daily. You can see last week we have a lovely momentum. As you can see, we have this daily candle lows of which is we are more looking more to the downside, maybe to this low here. So I think I'll be looking for to see if we can get some continuation to the downside, targeting these lows. So when you go to 4H, you can see we had this arc formation here. As you can see, a U shape here. So like a double top or something. But when you look here, price is within this low here. This low here. So what I'm looking for here, firstly, see maybe like push back to these areas and then we continue push to the downside. Or at least we break from here and have a clear structure that would form here. Then I can take it to the downside from here. And another thing, you must be aware that if maybe it happen that price gonna move correctively, might happen that it's not gonna come exactly to this area here. Maybe it might reject around these areas here. So if I can see something like this, then I'll take it. But I don't wanna confuse you with this, but maybe in the future I'll explain this kind of stuff, you know. So simple things, wait to see if we can come back from here and then continue, or we form a flag from here and then continue to the downside. So we just have to wait and see how price gonna develop. And since we are within this low, there's a possibility that price might move maybe something like this and then you continue push to the upside like this. As you can see, this can be a descending structure toward this low. As you can see here, with 1 2 3, 1 2 3, and then we push to the upside. So we just have to wait and see how price gonna develop, then we're gonna take it from there. But if we break here, that would be lovely. No, or if price gonna come to these areas here. No. So the next pair on my top 6, it's Euro JPY. Yeah, I'm still looking for more upside, like how I discussed this pair last week. As you can see, you have a lovely push to the upside. So now it's looking like we are getting that corrective move before we continue push to the upside. But we are within this key level that I've identified on my midweek review. Is when you go to the 4H here, you can see price rejected here, as you can see from this level. So what I'm looking for now, to see if I can get something like this, then you come to these lows and then to form something like this, and then take it to the upside, targeting this high or this high. As we like I indicated before that, I'm waiting to see if we can get the completion of this structure and see if we can reject from here and continue push to the downside, because the high time frame, it's looking more to the downside, as you can see, of this push here. So this whole move here, it's a corrective move. So it is how I was saying, I'm waiting for the completion of the structure around these areas before we sell off. So that's it for Euro JPY. And another pair, my top 6 is Euro US British Pound. So we have a lovely push here, as you can see, coming from these lows here, and as you can see, broken this low, and we push to the upside, and we broken this high here. So what I'm looking for here is to see if we can get some continuation around these areas and then continue push maybe to this high here. So when you go to 4H, you can see already there's a structure that is forming here. So waiting to see if we can come to these lows before we continue push to the upside. My first target would be this one. Then if we continue push to the upside, with these highs here. So most of the euro pairs are at the key areas or are shaping up nicely. So we just have to be patient, let the market come to us, then see if we do get those opportunities, then we can execute accordingly and always stick to our risk, you know. So that's it with euro pound. And my next pair, it pound US dollar. So here, let me start off from daily. Me remove this firstly. Last week I indicated that I'm waiting to see if how price gonna react to this high here, or if we push from this high, then I'm waiting to see for some continuation to the upside, targeting these highs here. So I want to show you something here, because you can see we have this low and then broke this, and then we come back to this high here, and then we come back from, but it didn't break this low. So it's more likely that price might move correctively and then continue push to the upside, maybe to clear this low before we have a move to the upside, of which will resulting on this structure, as you can see here. So what I'm looking for here, as you can see, let me go to 4H so that I can show you exactly what I'm seeing here. You can see you have this push to the downside, and now there's this push, this structure that is forming here, and we rejected to this high that are indicated here. You can see. So there's few scenarios here, of which is a possibility that can maybe come to this area for a minute double top before we continue push to the downside, targeting this low or this low here. Or what can happen here, can move correctively in this form and then continue push to the upside between these highs or these highs. So just wanting you guys to be aware of that, because you can see we're coming from this push here, and now price is correcting and then coming to this low, to this previous high here, and now price starting to reject. So there's a possibility that we can push to the downside, maybe to these lows, forming a double bottom here before we continue push to the upside, you know. Or even price can come to this low to clear this low before we continue push to the upside. So when I draw my outer structure, it will be something like this. You can see, put a ray line here, be something like this. You can see. So if we can push, and we're coming from this low and then push to the upside. So we just have to be neutral or to be patient and then see if how price is developing, whether we're pushing to the downside or we're gonna continue with the upside move. So yeah, that's it for pound dollar. And my next pair on my top 6 is USD JPY. So like how I discussed this one. So now I'm looking to see if we're gonna continue push to the downside. As you can see, here, let me go to an A to explain. So as you can see here, we push, we're moving correctively, as you can see, and then it come back to reject here, forming a mini double top, and then we push to the downside. So now just waiting for maybe a flag, 15-minute flag here, then take it to the downside. So if I take it from here, something like this, see from this area to there, already I'll be in break even, just in case if price gonna come from here and then push to the upside. So I'll be safe here. So I'm just waiting to see how price gonna develop from here. If we do get this structure here, or maybe price gonna push a little bit to the upside, maybe to these highs again, and then we sell off. So we'll see how price gonna develop. No. So on my all cards, what I'm looking for is Euro NZD. As you can see from last week, we started from 4H here. As you can see last week, we have a level push to the downside. So when I look left here, there's this low here. So price is the possibility that can move correctively between these lows and then we push to the upside. So what I'm looking for here, at least to see if we do break this low here and form maybe a bigger structure from here, and then I can take a trade from these areas to the downside. Or another scenario, if we continue push this momentum, then I'll wait for some structure that we're gonna form it, because as you can see, we still have more room to the downside, and if we break here, it's more likely that we can reach these lows here. So I'm just going to see how price gonna develop, how price gonna react from this low here. So then I'll see if is there any possible scenario that might play out during that time. So just have to wait and see how price gonna develop. So and the next pair is pound Aussie, similar to this one as well. It's a similar thing like Euro NZD. As you can see, we have a nice push, we form a nice corrective move here, and then we push. So now what I'll be looking for to see if we can break these lows here. Then if we break here, maybe form something like this, and then this will be a lovely move, maybe taking some entries and then to sell off. Or if we form something below here, then it will lovely move, because you can see we still have more room to the downside. But since we're approaching these lows, I'll have to wait and see how price gonna react to it, or how price gonna develop to it. So around these areas, sorry. So we just have to be patient and see how price gonna develop. And my last pair is USD CAD. So as you can see here, we still have more room to the downside, but what I'm looking for here, at least to see if you're going to clear these lows here. So when you go to 4H, you can see we have a nice push here, and then this is our first corrective structure. So remove this. So here there's few scenarios that I'm looking for. So it's either we're gonna come back to this high and then we sell off, or we can form a flag from here and then we sell off, or we can break this low here and then form a flag around these areas and then we sell off. So we just waiting to see how price gonna develop from here. So if we break here, then I'm waiting for some structure to happen around these areas, but I'll be aware of these lows here, especially these ones here. So yeah, and if price gonna come around these areas, that would be a allowable trade. As you can see, it didn't have any clear setup around this area. This is our first corrective structure. So there's a possibility that price might come all the way from here and then we sell off. Yeah, so that's it for today, guys, and I'll talk to you on another episode on Wednesday. Anyway, have a great week and have a nice trading week, guys. We're gonna talk to each other on my Telegram channel. If you have any questions, you can drop them on the comment section under this video, or you can hit me up on my Telegram channel and then I can see if I can help you. Thanks, guys.